Hello, this is Angelique, and you're listening to We're Booked Up, a segment of the Gaston Speaks podcast wherein Kendall, Andrew, and I discuss books. This month's book is The Matzah Ball by Jean Meltzer, a Hanukkah holiday book. There will be spoilers. But first, what have we been reading or watching?
I do need my phone because I've read and watched a lot.
Yay.
Okay.
I have watched. Let's see, what else did we read? I didn't finish the book club book last month. So I read The Matzah Ball, and but I watched Anyone But You. It's Glenn Powell and Sydney.
Oh, the
from,
enemies to lovers.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
watched
got
that.
Amanda Listenberg, I think's in it. I think that's who that was. And anyway, it was so cheesy, stupid, but funny. And I will say that those two definitely have like that star, Sydney Sweeney. Yes. Thank you. I was thinking Euphoria. Yeah. So I did actually watch that, and then I had never. I'm a huge. This is a deep cut, but I'm a huge Nicole Holofcener fan. She's a director. She did Enough Said and.
Is that the one with James Gandolfini and
Julie Louis-Dreyfus?
Thank you.
She did one called "You Hurt My Feelings," which is Julie Louis-Dreyfus this year. And then she wrote the screenplay for one that I really love called "Can You Ever Forgive Me" with Melissa McCarthy. And then she did one called Please Give, and it's Catherine Keener and Oliver Platt. It's a really good one. It's one of the last roles of Anne Morgan Gilbert, who was Yetta on The Nanny, who I kept picturing as Bubby, and she's no longer with us. But anyway, I saw a movie that I'd never seen it, and it popped up on some list, and I got it here for the library. It's called Friends with Money, and it's Jennifer Aniston, Catherine Keener, Joan Cusack, and
I love that.
You love that movie?
I
Okay.
saw that movie in the movie theater.
Oh my gosh, I'd never seen it. I realized it was one of the few I've never. So that's the director, and I love her, and she does these quirky, weird. I don't know how to describe it, uncomfortable dramedies. It's an amazing film, by the way. It's so good and so funny and so dark. So I've been doing new and old deep cuts.
Old deep cuts, yeah.
It's like 2006. It's old now.
So I've been able to watch a lot.
Good.
All right, so mildly obsessed with Dairy Girls now. I binge watched all 4 seasons.
I've seen the first season. It's very funny. You should watch it.
I know. Y'all keep telling me. Now that I finally get out of the funk of like not watching the same thing over and over again. So I will add it to my list.
I'm so depressed my ancestry results came back and I have so little Irish in me. I thought I had a lot. I was walking around trying to do a dairy accent. Anyway, I won't do it for you, but I'll do it for you when we're not on the podcast. All right. Only Murders in the Building season 4. I just love that show. It is just such a good, cozy comfort show.
The cast is just, and they keep adding.
So phenomenal.
You know, Paul Rudd, Meryl Streep. So every time you turn around, they just add someone amazing.
When Paul Rudd is one of my meh characters.
That's a good,
I feel like that's a good sign. And
that's where one of the earlier projects of Davine Joy Randolph before she won her Oscar for The Holdovers. I was like, who is this woman? She's kind of cool. And then bam, she blew up. So that was cool.
Oh, I do love her.
She's awesome. She was good last season.
I started the new season of What We Do in the Shadows. I'm not as excited about the season, but I'm hoping.
I did not like last season at all.
The way it ended last season, I was like, wait, I'm going to say something, but I'm not crazy about Kristen Schaal as the guide. Schaal?
Oh, she's annoying. Yeah.
I feel bad because I love the show. I think it's her accent that kills me. But the character.
I haven't watched it in a while, so.
Okay.
It's one of those that it hit its peak and it may be time for it to end. And I hate to say that, but I'd rather do that than get worse and worse.
Yeah. Same. So for the movie, I watched The Fall Guy, Ryan Gosling.
Is that good?
I liked it. I thought it was just like the perfect.
I think it was a little bit too long, maybe, but it was funny.
Don't watch the extended. But yeah.
Yeah, I adore both of those actors.
I love them too. But the pièce de résistance, Agatha all along, in love. Love. 5 million stars. I want to go down the road. The fact that Wicked's coming out is like perfect timing. I feel like it's so good. It's so good. I cannot take it anymore. It's so good.
You know, because this is not the first time the three of us have talked about this, but they keep telling me to watch. I'm like, I'm not sure, but I love all the cast people. Yeah, Joe Locke, Catherine Hahn, Patti LuPone. You know, it's kind of like one of those where it's worth getting through even if it's not your favorite type thing, just to see those types of performances, because apparently they're just awesome. Aubrey Plaza.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I will say it is my favorite Marvel TV show now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What
same.
was WandaVision
Really?
your first?
I liked WandaVision. I liked Loki, but WandaVision I think was still my number one. And there's a lot of other Marvel shows that I do enjoy. They're not like terrible.
Right.
They're fun, but like this one, it went in such a different direction than the other Marvel experience, and I feel like at least we three have all said that we're a little marveled out.
Yeah.
So this was like a refreshing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
It was
watch
good.
it. Watch it.
I will.
It was good.
Yeah.
Kendall told me about it. I binged it in one day.
I did. I finished the last episode and couldn't stop thinking about it, and I was immediately like, Angelique, you need to watch this. You need to watch this right now.
And then I texted her the next day, like, oh, I watched it.
I love it.
Yeah. I also, so I watched Agatha All Along, and I read the book, The Teller of Small Fortunes, that I picked up like a week ago.
Oh.
It's pretty good so far. I've only read like a few chapters, but it's interesting. It's like a little fantasy, cozy fantasy
Sounds nice.
about a woman who goes from like small town to small town telling fortunes, but only small fortunes because the big ones or the medium ones can get you in trouble kind of thing. So she sticks to the small ones until she tells a small one that turns out to be a big one. So
Ah,
That
actually,
sounds
that sounds
very
kind of cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
it's a
Let's
good
read the-
concept. I like it so
Oh.
far.
If you like it, we could do it for the podcast because I think you just intrigued us both.
It's a short book too, so you'll like that.
I'm in. Vote.
Check and check.
We have voted it into the lineup.
I also started reading a book called Hampton Heights. I'm only like one chapter into that one, but it seems interesting. It's set in like the late 80s, and it's like a horror novel, and it follows like these middle school boys as they try to sell subscriptions to door to door in like a weird
Stranger
neighborhood.
Things
It feels very Stranger Things,
Yeah.
Grady Hendrix.
Yeah. And I've always liked like the 80s coming of age movies that were like Goonies, Monster
Never Say
Squad,
Die.
Lost Boys.
You never saw the Goonies?
No, Goonies Never Say Die.
Oh, I thought you said I never saw the Goonies. I'm like, what? Never.
I
mind.
didn't. I saw it as an adult, actually.
I gotcha.
Have you seen Monster Squad?
Nope.
It's good. It's fun.
I also read books. I finished Refrigerator Monologues, 4 stars, and I'm halfway through Remarkably Bright Creatures, and I'm loving it. I wouldn't recommend it for you. I'm on the fence for you.
No, everyone I've.
I pointed. Angelique, I do not recommend this book for you. Andrew, we have to finish it to find out.
No, my buddy Sarah McLean was like, she was like, "You've not read it?" I was like, "No." She's, "You're a terrible librarian, Andrew." she's on the literacy council board with me. She's like, "You're on the literacy." I was like, "I know," but my mom actually met the author.
Shelby Van Pelt.
Yeah, so she was at Mary Alice Monroe, who we've had here several times at the library. Adore her. She does this weekend every like Martin Luther King weekend, and she invites different authors. So last year she got to meet Shelby Van Pelt and William Kent Kruger,
Ooh.
which is her buddy Ann's one of their, and my dad. They love his
He's
books.
so popular. I shelf him all the time.
And my book club folks just adore him. So yeah, they met her. She said she was really, really cool, and everyone I know, like all my book club folks, have loved that book. So I feel like I need to just break down and do it.
Or do it for book club or something, yeah.
Yeah, it's on our list for this year, so I might
Oh, is
push
it?
it. Yeah, and then I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to steal that from you. I'm very excited about the Small Fortunes book.
I know. I think it sounds
I
good.
hope it continues to be enjoyable.
Yeah, let us know if you think it's something that would be a good discussion too. I mean, not just that it would be a good
Yeah.
book, but a good discussion. I think it'd be great.
Okay.
Fair.
Sure. Anything else we watched or read? Are we ready for the synopsis?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's synopsis it. How do you verb that word? Synopsisize it.
Summarize it.
Oh. This is why Angelique runs everything, and we just rumble in, having finished the book 5 seconds ago.
I'm trying to say synopsisize.
Synopsisize.
She's like, summarize?
Summarize. I like synopsisize. I think that's great.
Well, we'll call
Hashtag
Merriam
vote us
Webster.
in.
Oh Lord, help us read the.
Okay,
the
here we
thing.
go. Rachel Rubenstein Goldblatt is a nice Jewish girl with a shameful secret. She loves Christmas. For a decade, she's hidden her career as a Christmas romance novelist from her family. Her talent has made her a best-selling author, even as her chronic illness has always kept the kind of love she writes about out of reach. But when her diversity-conscious publisher insists she write a Hanukkah romance, her well of inspiration suddenly runs dry. Hanukkah's not magical, it's not merry, it's not Christmas. Desperate not to lose her contract, Rachel's determined to find her muse at the Matzah Ball, a Jewish music celebration on the last night of Hanukkah, even if it means working with her summer camp archenemy, Jacob Greenberg. Though Rachel and Jacob haven't seen each other since they were kids, their grudge still glows brighter than a menorah. But as they spend more time together, Rachel finds herself drawn to Hanukkah and Jacob in a way she never expected. Maybe this holiday of lights will be the spark she needed to set her heart ablaze. I lost myself there at the end, but yeah.
You did good.
Good job.
Thanks.
Good job.
Thanks. So what do we think about the synopsis and how it relates
Oh, yeah.
to the
no,
book?
Accurate, yeah.
Yeah. Hit it,
Cool. Ready to rate it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start with Andrew. Since it's fresher on his mind.
Well, no, so. No. I'm not. It was exactly what it intended it to be.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so I knew going in what I was going to get. And there were moments that were good in the book. It wasn't, I would say like 2.5, maybe 2.5. If you love this is your thing and you want to get into it, especially if you like those Christmas books, this is, trying to do a different spin on it. But that holiday cheer, it probably would be a 3.35 book for some of those folks because you do get that. It was not written for Andrew. That's fine. But she set out to do exactly what she wanted to do. We were talking about earlier, we learned a lot about Jewish tradition and culture. We learned a lot of cool Yiddish word, so there was some educational parts to that if you're not familiar with that culture. So I'd say 2.5.
So for me, I gave it the exact same rating I gave Let It Snow, which is 3.75, because Let It Snow would be better except for that 100 pages where they decided to go find
That's
her dad's
true, that's
paternity,
true.
and it was just ugh.
Yeah.
But this did not have any weird plot things. It was all, considering it was 364 pages.
It was a little long.
It was a touch long.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that being said, it was not there wasn't a whole bunch of fluff.
Yeah.
No,
It
the
wasn't
narrative made sense
weird.
and-
There was no weird
Yeah.
plot.
Yeah, it was A to B, and that was it.
And it was good. And so,
Yeah.
3.75. I agree with Andrew. She accomplished exactly what she wanted to. It was easy to read. It wasn't
Yeah, I mean, I flew
painful.
through those 387
Yeah.
pages. Yeah, I mean, it was entertaining as you were going along. That's what I'm saying. 2.5 to 3, somewhere in there. 2 to 3.
There's not major things that I hate. I mean,
No,
there's not.
no.
It's not revolutionary. It's not changing my life.
No.
But I liked it. Yeah.
For me, it was like a 2.75 because this book made me realize I really don't like romance that much anymore. And the first half of it, there's something about it I didn't like. But the latter half was okay. She kind of was able to bring it back to what it was supposed to be, kind of thing. She explained herself well in the latter half, or the first half. I'm why are they doing this? This is ridiculous, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
there were definitely points in the novel where it was why is this a high stakes situation?
Yeah.
I'm I don't believe it. I mean, sometimes I do because I can kind of put myself in the shoes of someone who's trying to impress their parents and they don't want to out themselves for liking Christmas. That I can get, but also I could get not wanting to be out public because that might bring shame on her family, but to her parents, I don't know why she hid it from her parents.
Especially since, spoiler alert, they knew all along.
yeah.
That was fun.
That
I
was
liked
my
that a
favorite
lot.
moment,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think. Skipping ahead, but we'll come back to that. Anyway.
All right, ready for the first question?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do it.
What do you think of the leads, Rachel and Jacob? What did you think of their romance?
So I didn't particularly like Rachel that much.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I mean, she was fine. Like I
Yeah.
said, she was fine, but I don't know. There was just something. I liked Jacob. I thought he was cool. I kind of I guess I understood more of why his character was the way he was, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The core problem I had with this book, which was that I get that you had a first love in middle school,
Mm-hmm.
but why is that such a catalyst? I don't know,
didn't get
because
it.
I get the idea that they were rivals turned to they did that in Let It Snow as well. They kind of had, it wasn't necessarily rivals, but it was just kind of they weren't really compatible, and so but. I mean, we all had our first crushes at 12 years old. It did not wreck for and that maybe that's why I liked Jacob better, is because it was something that was a catalyst along with all that other stuff going on, and that's why it set with him so much, because he remembered it so deeply because of everything, all the horrible things in his life. But for her, I'm like, okay, we get it. He was 12 years old. You were 12 years old at summer camp, and it's you ruined my life. No, you didn't. I don't know. It did not work for me. That little ignite. Did it work for you? It worked for you.
No, okay, so I kind of understand it because I remember what it's like to that first, that first crush.
Yeah, but I'm not holding a grudge 20 years later.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how traumatizing this stuff was for you, because
I mean,
don't
it couldn't
know.
have been that traumatizing. She instantly forgave Mickey.
But she found
Point, Angelique.
but Mickey is someone she had learned to love and trust over the past 20 years. Like, Jacob was a kid she knew for one summer, and like she felt like big feelings for him that she never really felt for Mickey. And then, like, I don't know, I kind of, okay, so overall I agree with you, but I can kind of also see it from the other perspective, because I think if the boy I liked in 7th grade was doing those awful things to me, I think I would have a hard time. But then if he's still cute and you remember all those like warm fuzzy feelings, I don't know. I think they went back to camp a lot though in the story.
Yeah.
And like when it came to helping make the matzo ball great, that one was, I mean, it was cheesy, but it was effective cheesy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, they kept hitting that, and I'm like, I get it. I get it, but you're also grown adults. Why don't you try to...
Here's the thing that I didn't like.
Okay, go for it.
So they're kids, so they have big feelings, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then she leaves camp, and she's at home with Mono or whatever, and he's still writing and calling her. And apparently her mom finds out his issues, and she doesn't try to, like, mediate anything between them. She just lets it go. That kind of bugged me.
That kind of
actually, yeah.
It kind of bugs me too, because obviously, like, she's been open about Jacob Greenberg being
her arch enemy,
or arch nemesis, whatever it is, and she's been saying that to her mom, and her mom knows. So it is a little surprising.
I can
that
understand
she's not
her
meddling
mom
more.
not like sharing his business, but she could have, like you said, meddled a little bit more to maybe like at least resolve the issues that
or
they
make
have.
him right back.
Yeah.
Like, why would I don't know.
Or as an adult, when she's like fighting against Jacob Greenberg, be like, hey, honey, I know that this was this, but maybe you didn't realize that there was a lot going on. Because now it's 20 years later, and his mom recently died. You know, you guys were kids. Just give him another chance. He's very successful. And it turns out he's a butthole, then don't whatever. But like, even at that point as an adult, she could have mitigated it before the Shabbat or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that one kind of
Yeah.
It just seems like a lot for a summer camp romance. I don't know. It's a lot to launch than a 387-page romance novel.
You're not wrong, but a lot of these things are kind of like a lot of little plot points are a little tenuous to begin with. I feel like there was
That's
it
true.
could have
That's true.
all been nothing. Like it was a lot of making something out of nothing is how a lot of it felt.
Well, and then so one of the things about Rachel, I think, was so she has this very serious disorder. And totally get it, but they talked about it, and they talked about it, and they talked about it, and I get it, because then it was effective. But then when she wants to get into the matzo ball, she's like jumping
Scaling
up and climbing.
buildings.
She ran 6 blocks. She's all of a sudden,
me.
and then by the time they got married, and at the end, there's a suggestion that she's pregnant. It's like, did they ever talk about, in the corner was the bedazzled wheelchair, because it was like all of a sudden we're happy and the disease went away.
It did kind of have that. Yeah.
It was such an important plot point.
Yeah.
Or character thing to then, I don't know. That was one of those, I'm like, I've read like 60 of these pages talking about her illness. And then she's just like, but when I'm in love, all goes away. Like, that's kind of how it felt. Whether that was intended or not, it had
I kind of want to give Meltzer a break on that, because apparently she also has chronic fatigue syndrome.
Oh,
she
does. And she kind of
You're
based
not
Rachel.
horrible.
No, you're not horrible.
Yeah.
She based Rachel on her.
Okay.
So I feel like it's probably just like wish fulfillment for her.
Maybe, and
You
I
could,
can understand that.
You're not wrong, but then I mean, what are you going to do? Add more conflict at the end of the novel where it's like, well, can she get pregnant? Is her body going to be able to handle,
like maybe she'll do a sequel, and that's where that will be.
I'm not reading that.
Well, me neither. But maybe she'll do a sequel, and that's where that will be.
So, for your original question, what did I think about Rachel? I liked Rachel just fine. Sometimes when the author is trying to show her as being goofy or silly, it was a little over the top. Like, there's at one point where she and Jacob are walking down the street, and she puts her arms out and makes airplane noises, runs down the street.
Yeah, that was
and I'm
weird.
Like,
it's like, oh, she's on a sugar high. It's like, yeah, but she's not like a 4-year-old on a sugar high.
Yeah.
But, and I will also say the one thing I appreciated that the author did in this book that did not happen in Colleen Hoover's book was she gave the male jerk perspective.
Yeah.
Like, we as the audience knew the whole time why Jacob was doing the things he was doing.
Yes.
He thought he was being playful and playing a game and breaking down, like,
The barrier.
And that is so much easier to swallow as a reader than finding that out, at the end of the book.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that we got Jacob's perspective.
Well, and what was the one we read? The Mary Kay Andrews. Not the first one, the Santa suit, but the other one where the male character ended up being very problematic. You know what I mean? He's kind of
Pat?
creepy.
Pat.
Bright
Patrick.
Lights, Big Christmas.
Yeah, Big City.
Big Christmas.
Big
Bright Lights,
Christmas.
Big Christmas.
It's Big Christmas. Oh,
'Cause
I hated that book. Never mind. Anyway.
No,
but
you
yeah.
didn't. You kind of liked it.
You
I
liked
did.
it
didn't
more
like
than the
Santa.
Santa
Yeah, you liked
suit,
it more than Santa
At
suit.
least in the thing. I did not like
Yeah,
it.
she didn't like it.
Okay, maybe I just.
And Pat was really pushy, though.
He
We
was
all
Yeah.
agreed
so
on that.
gross. He was just too much.
But
gross.
this was nice that you didn't have a problematic or a
Yeah,
male lead. He was flawed, but he was a good.
yeah.
I think
She's
no
flawed.
one.
She's a good person. I mean,
no
yeah.
one's looking for perfection.
I
He
mean-
found out.
Right.
He found out that she had a chronic disease and that he had done horrible things, and he tried to correct.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
He tried to
exactly.
atone, and he didn't push it. It was like.
And it was all in a. Even then, it wasn't
Mm.
patronizing.
You
thought it
don't
was-
think so?
No, I think he pushed it a little bit by inviting another woman into her house to take care of her.
Okay,
Like, I get
yeah.
why he did it, and I understand why he did it, but at the same time, she is still an adult, and she can make those decisions on her own, even if she did end up accepting it.
I mean that's fair.
I
but
think
as-
in his mind, that's how he knows how to fix things.
Yeah.
Is he calls in the experts and they go into troubleshoot mode. So I think it was more.
No, I get why it happened, and I
Yeah.
get why he
Yeah.
did it, but I don't think it's all.
I thought it
that
was
is
just
not something I would do for you.
Yeah.
Send me a mail. Yeah.
But I'll
Heck
do
yeah.
it for
Heck
Andrew.
yeah.
I'll do it for bleep. Bad
Bleep.
word.
Send me a maid. Anyway, we'll just keep going on with that. I don't know where we stop. Sorry,
Anyway,
Angelique.
but yeah, I don't know. But my point is, I feel like he tried to atone for.
Yeah.
You know, when he found out he did something wrong, he didn't double down.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh nope," and then
Yeah.
he changed.
Yeah.
Like he changed his behavior, not his personality. He changed his behavior.
And I think he was legit in like when he saw the Christmas room. It wasn't that she liked Christmas. It wasn't that she was. It was that I've tried so hard to break down these barriers to get to know you, and you keep having this wall up, and I could see that frustration. Like that one made sense to me. That last little.
Yeah. And on the flip side, though, I kept feeling like I felt like Jacob was harping on the fact that she was dishonest all the time, and I'm like, she's not dishonest. She's private.
Yes, she's
And
keeping
the-
a secret. That's not necessarily dishonesty.
And it's to protect herself.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
she's trying to swindle somebody.
Mhm.
Like, and so I felt like that needed to be back down just a little bit. Like, her honesty, she's so dishonest.
She's unreliable.
I can't trust her.
Well, he kept calling her unreliable, but he has trauma about that, so he has like serious abandonment issues, which
Which
makes
is
sense.
understandable. And she herself just
Yeah.
abandoned him.
Yeah.
Like, she did not respond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get it. But yeah,
And in every single case, except for that one, when there was a conflict, she abandoned him again.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like anytime there was a conflict, she would just go away and abandon him.
Mhm.
And he kept having to try to build that back. So I could see where he finally hit his breaking point of like, this time I'm walking out. I'm
Yeah.
done. So that's where I meant when I came. I could just see that frustration building. You're right. He had some serious issues, but he also was trying to deal with them. Like he
Mhm.
told off his dad, and he,
God, I love Bubby. I'm
I
so
loved
glad
Bubby.
she gave the best advice without being in your face about it.
Also, you know how some books have like the recipes in them.
Um,
Gene Belzer, I'm abandoning you in the fandom because I want that arugula recipe.
I think that's fair.
I love that stuff. It's so good, and I'm like, I want the apricot arugula
Uh-huh.
recipe, please.
I think that's fair.
Are we ready for the next question?
Yeah,
Please.
sorry.
What did you think of the other characters? Did you have a favorite character?
Bubby.
Bubby, yeah, who
Bubby.
did like Bubby?
Solid Mickey fan.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Shmuel.
Schmel.
Shmuel.
He was funny. I liked
Shmuel.
him.
Shmuel.
He kind of got on my nerves at the beginning, but
I
yeah,
think he was
kind
supposed
of brought it.
to.
Yeah,
Like he's bringing all the food on the plane because he's like, they may not have kosher. What are we gonna do? And I don't know. He was the like if this were a
Comedic
movie,
relief.
he'd be the funny, like kind of grumpy comedic relief character.
Who's the guy in Sex in the City that was not Aunt, but the other friend,
Yeah.
Carrie's little friend?
Yeah, with the
like that's
glasses.
who I yes,
Did
like
that actor
balding.
die? Yeah, I
did?
think so.
yeah.
But I know you're talking about, and he would be perfect for that role.
He did.
Yeah.
Wait, I think he even. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
But that character, yeah, that kind of.
that is who I
mhm.
saw when I saw Shmuel.
It's interesting. The whole time I was. Oh wait, we'll get to that.
Sorry, Angelique, I jumped.
So anyway, some of the other characters were interesting. I mean, there weren't that many other like the parents were kind of there and then they were gone. You know,
Mhm.
although besides that one
That
plot,
kind of bugged me actually. The parents, she's like harping on the fact that she doesn't want to disappoint her parents, but they're like in the beginning of the book and then they're at the end of the book and they're not really
they were there for Shabbat, but that's about.
Yeah.
Mickey was cool.
Yeah, I
Cool.
liked Mickey.
Mickey's good.
He was very devoted.
He's
Like,
very devoted.
did he not have his own little life going on?
He had an acrobat. So.
Yeah.
But I get the feeling that he was like able to juggle the acrobat and his friendship responsibilities, which he clearly took
Seriously.
seriously.
He probably is one of those people that made it very clear if he ever got serious with another person, it's like, so here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
I have this person, she's family. She might as well be. And, but I respect people like that who are like, I have this best friend, and you're going to have to deal with them.
It makes sense why he would be the one to go out and get her little Hawaiian Santa figurine.
Margaritaville Santa.
Yes. And, that's one thing I didn't like. She completely abandoned all of her Christmas stuff at the end. I'm totally okay with, like, her, like, falling in love with Hanukkah. It might be a situation where you're just too close to the situation to see how magical it is. It's lovely. You're giving your light to someone else. It's a beautiful concept. But I don't like that she completely, like, boxed up all of her Santas and garland and stuff.
I kind of was thinking when they said, like, they started talking about the apartment that you would see, like, the Santa next to the Hanukkah bush. Like, we incorporated it because clearly the parents were okay with it and embraced it. And I don't think, the Jacob ever really had a problem with the Christmas stuff because he wasn't, he was Jewish, but he never, he was kind of in and out of that culture.
He went to a Catholic school.
He went to Catholic school, so he understood Christmas. I don't know. I agree with you. That one was kind of like, I was like, you don't have to, I get that. I'm glad that you finally embraced something that is so important to you and your culture and your religion and all that, but you don't have to abandon something you like just because.
So I agree. So, like, at the end when she's talking through her author's note, what she says is she tries to give an accurate representation of Judaism kind of across the board. So she has people who are really devout, and then she has people who are going to be like less orthodox. And so like Jacob going to private school, Catholic school or whatever. So I was really surprised that they wouldn't still celebrate Christmas because, I don't know, I grew up with a lot of not very Orthodox Jewish people, and they all celebrated Christmas.
I'm about to say a lot of them did the same thing. It was like it wasn't about for them the religious part of it. It was they liked the decorations and the food and the
gifts.
Right, and they still lit their menorah. It didn't abandon Hanukkah. But the other thing too is Hanukkah's. I mean, that was kind of the point was they were trying to make Hanukkah this big deal. It's not that big of a deal. The only reason it's even important. It's important. The reason it's made such a big deal is because of its proximity to Christmas. But
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I'm like you. All my Jewish friends are like, I put up the Christmas tree. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying that is how it is across the board.
No, not at all. But
I don't know. My experience, like, we would light a menorah and eat some of that chocolate candy, and then we would exchange Christmas gifts. Like, that's how it was.
Ready for the next one?
yeah.
Yes, please.
Did the book's pace seem too fast, too slow, or just right?
It was a smidge slow.
Yeah, and it felt too long, the book itself.
Yeah, 'cause she could have cut out easily 50 to 60 pages, and been fine.
Yeah.
You're right. It started off a little slow. And that's kind of the point. You're at a, solemn, religious tradition or whatever. It was just like, okay. It took a while for it to really, because it was like you introduce her and all the Christmas stuff, and then they immediately go into the Shabbat.
I wish more happened at Shabbat because the author set it up that the characters are going to have to interact because they can't have cell phones. They're, it's candlelit. It's romantic. You could have been, I don't know. I wish more had happened at Shabbat. But
yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, it was a little slow for me. How about you?
Yeah. Like I said, it felt too long, and like I don't like miscommunication as a trope. It frustrates me so much. Why don't you just say what you want to say?
I know.
But to be fair, it's honest trope. I mean, that's
life. True.
That is also true.
But it's annoying in real life too. So if I'm reading a, fun, romantic, whatever, don't annoy me.
Yeah. Once he found her office and she tried to cover up the fact, she was like, I'm just a fan of Margot Cross. Come on, girl.
Really?
Come on. He's figured it out. Don't.
That's another thing. So he finds out she's an author. He finds this manuscript, which is obviously about him. And he doesn't reason out that maybe it was about him before they reconciled.
Yeah.
She's allowed to write out her feelings in any way she wants.
Yeah. Side note, also, unlike Colleen Hoover's book, she didn't go and publish it. She canceled the stuff.
Yeah.
And truthfully, if it was such a good manuscript, I feel like what's his name? Jacob should have, eaten it a little bit and been like, yes, this is going to be a great opportunity for you.
Yeah.
I don't really like it when authors do the thing where they are writing their life in a book, and so in their book they have to write their life.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Like, I'm making a movie, so I'm going to make a movie about a person who's going to make a movie and realize that this is the movie that they want to make, and it gets too meta.
Yeah.
But it's just I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
So I wish they had gone with the Hanukkah Grinch. I think that could have, honestly, I'd read the Hanukkah Grinch.
Yeah.
It was yeah. I mean, I'm grumpy a lot, so that kind of fit in with my
8 Days of Grumpy Disasters sounds like a fantastic holiday book.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we got the matzo ball, but we already have the matzo ball.
Yeah.
Because we have the matzo ball. It's already a book. We don't need a fake book. We have a book.
Okay.
And we're whispering this.
I know you're not going to be able to hear any of that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll boost it. Anyways, if I can.
I don't know.
Do we have any favorite or least favorite moments or quotes in the book? I have one. Can I go first?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
The Santa therapy scene. I hated it so much.
Oh.
I
that
did
was
not
weird.
like it.
Because she
didn't-
forced it and she sat on a
Yeah.
strange man's lap.
Yes.
He was
And
like,
he-
please leave me
He
alone.
was like, please stop.
Maybe it's because I've worked in customer service and still work in customer service, and I don't like.
That is true. As that Santa, I would not appreciate someone coming every single year who's clearly an adult and sits on my. That's a violation. You don't.
Yeah.
Do that. Yeah. Okay. Did you have a favorite moment?
When Jacob went to see his dad and got closure, that was a good moment.
That was.
I loved my favorite moments were just anytime Jacob was with Bubby. I love their relationship. It was just so, and anyone who's ever had that relationship with a grandmother, which I have, that was like, oh, I felt that one.
I loved Bubby. In my very limited experience with Jewish Bubbies, she is so accurate. Like,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fact that she pulls out extra donuts from her purse, and then Rachel's response was something like, "Oh, you were carrying all that?" And she goes, "We all carry a little too much sometimes." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I love you. I love you."
But their relationship was an honest one. That Gene Meltzer either, she was writing it through herself, but she clearly had a Bubby that warmed her heart, and she made sure that really shone through.
Shown through. Yeah. I like that was one of my favorite scenes. And then at the end, where the dad, who's like kind of clearly very involved in his work, comes out and has missed the whole big climax, the kiss, the everything, and he's like, "What happened?" And the wife is like, "Shh, your daughter's a Christmas author." And he was like, "But didn't we already know that?" Like, that was just like the sweetest little nugget.
I wish we had gotten to know more of the father. We got to know the mother a little bit better, but
Yeah, all we knew is that he did not approve of the guy that said you should
Irving
sell.
Bergman.
Yeah,
he was a Jewish musician, but he wrote Christmas music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just at that moment, I was like, "Oh, he's kind of like fun," and
I know.
I wish there was
I
more
wish
of him.
she'd been
endearing.
she'd like talk to him like about it.
I honestly do too.
That would have been like a good scene to have, so she could have that resolution instead of just going onto stage and involving hundreds of people in her personal business.
Well, because we got that with Jacob with his dad. He finally got that closure,
Mhm.
and she needed that closure with her parents.
Yeah.
About this secret too.
I
so
think so, too.
so we sort of got it because they were like, "Yeah, we know, whatever."
There were also, I would say, like funny little moments along the way in the book. Like, I don't know, the image of her, not in the matzo. I didn't care so much for the matzo ball costume.
Yeah.
Because she was so embarrassed, so you felt embarrassed for her, I think. That's
Yeah,
one of
like-
the problems I had with it.
Well, like, it was definitely like a humiliation thing.
Yeah.
Like, that was his tactic, was to
Yeah.
humiliate her. And it was a little, I didn't like it. But then, like, her walking down the hall and leaving, like, little bits of matzo, like, trailing. I did find that a little humorous. Like, I like it. Anyway, but there were, like, I could see why they liked each other when, what was it? There was, like, a joke that they said over Shabbat. And it was like something like she kills plants, and he was like, "I'd never pegged you for a murderer," or something like that. Like, I don't know. There's like there were little moments that were nice.
Yeah. So I used Hoopla to read this book,
Mm-hmm.
and Hoopla lets you do highlights.
That's nice.
And so I was going through them real quick, and I found. So there's one I highlighted. She's talking about books has ideas for, And she lists them. There was a Texas cowboy with secret triplet babies, the Forsaken politician meeting the big city reporter during a blizzard, the canine detective and the veterinarian thrown together after finding a litter of abandoned puppies. These are all tried and true stories, all taking place over Christmas, with the hooks and twists her readers love. And I feel like I've seen the cover for every single one of those.
Yes, yeah.
I thought about that too. That is funny.
Okay.
That's a little Gene Meltzer being like, you know,
Some
I
nods to
know,
real ones.
yeah, exactly. A little wink and a whatever.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Mhm.
Sure.
What did you think of the ending?
Again, it was like she could barely get out of bed, and she's like climbing terraces and
Why would
outrunning guards. and-
Why would that
Gosh.
window be open
Yeah, like
in a hotel
like,
like
the
that?
whole
That's
thing
weird to me.
Is just
I don't like that she was able to sneak in when they had very clearly established that they needed to be very secure. And
Right.
here's this woman with a chronic illness.
who needed a bedazzled wheelchair to get around, and all of a sudden she's like Spider-Man on the side of the
maybe-
building.
Parkouring all over the place.
Adrenaline is I guess
Yeah,
a
that's
powerful
true.
thing. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I thought she was. Oh, I know the other part I didn't like. I don't like that she used the matzo ball to like throw it over like
Oh,
a
yeah.
balcony and it like broke down, like hit the Christmas tree and everything fell as a distract. It was totally pointless.
Yeah, it
was
didn't
to-
work.
I also did not like that, like when she was with the kids and she got stuck in the door and she like threw herself
Trying to do a
backwards.
backflip.
That she ended up rolling down and rolling into the
Oh,
menorah.
God,
I was
yeah,
like, y'all,
come
that
on.
is too much. It is
Yeah.
too much. So I was not a fan of that. And this is not your original question, so I cannot remember what your original
Ending.
question.
Do you like the ending?
Oh, I mean, we knew it was coming.
Mm.
It was fulfillment. If they had not gotten together, I'd be like, what is with this book? This is not the point of these books.
Right. It says romance on the side. Romance. You know?
So I'm fine. It's fine.
Again, she set out to do what she wanted to do, and she got them there. You know.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I liked the scene at the in the epilogue where her, Mickey, and Jacob were like dancing around. That was a nice scene. I
that's
like
sweet.
that.
I like that she was teasing him with food, and he put one in his mouth, like the rugalak, and then like took it back out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
By the way, is it so? It's spelled and pronounced like rugalak.
It is rugalak. Sorry, I
But
said
every
rugalak.
every time I've heard it, it's rugala. Like they don't necessarily pronounce the ch. So I'm just wondering if that's like a dialect thing. Anyway, if anyone knows any Yiddish, if you let us know what the
I guess probably rugala.
rugala. But maybe there's that and it's just I didn't quite hear it when
The
people did it.
ch in
Yeah.
Hanukkah. You
Yeah.
gotta put the ch in it. That is a Rugrats reference from their Hanukkah episode.
Oh
P.S.
yeah, that's
by the
right.
way,
Yeah.
with
yeah.
the Maccababies.
I will say I'm reading this, and almost every time I saw a word, I had a scene from The Nanny, just right there, because that was a show that really celebrated Jewish culture and made it an important part of it, and it was a huge vein through it. So I was like, I know that word from that episode of The Nanny. Haha.
Nice. All right, last question. Who would you cast in the movie or television show?
Oh, I had to look this up.
So it's funny. I was looking for
Me too.
like, let's look for some Jewish actors. Adam Brody came up.
He's too old.
He's
but,
too
Oh
old,
my
yeah.
God. I thought about him when they would talk about Jacob's little curls. I was like, yeah, but I don't look at Adam Brody and go like 6-foot international superstar.
But do
like,
you know who is Jewish? Who's a 6 foot? Chris Pine.
really?
He
I
is
don't like
Jewish.
his face. I'm sorry. I mean, there's something about it. He has very pretty eyes. And I know he's Captain Kirk and
I
all
thought
the
of Mila
things.
Kunis.
Yes, but again, these are old people. We need young people.
Well, we're old people. I don't know these young
I thought
people.
of some.
Okay, go for it.
Joey King for Rachel.
That's who I have.
Oh,
I-
that'd be good.
And I also have Haley Steinfeld because she's so quirky
Ooh,
and
okay,
funny
yeah,
and
yeah.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I
She'll
think she
work.
could do it.
For some reason, I don't know. He's probably not Jewish, but I think it could still work. Will Poulter. Do you know who that is? He was in The Maze Runner and in We're the Millers. He was the brother in We're the Millers.
As the main lead? But
Have
No,
you seen
as-
his glow up?
really?
Yeah,
Yeah, like that was
Really?
Yeah, I'll show you.
He has a Neville Longbottom thing happen?
sort of. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Hey yo, let's find out. Okay, that's better than mine. Ansel, what is it? Elgort from the Stars, the Fault in Our Stars.
Wasn't he in Baby Driver?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because I said that if you aged her up just a smidge, Fran Drescher could be Bubby.
Just a
She could be
smidge.
Bobby.
Just a smidge. That or Marion Ross. Mrs. Cunningham. She was Lorelai Gilmore, the great grandmother. Could be Bubby. Oh, really? Really? His face doesn't match his body now. Will Poulter.
Sorry, Will.
Sorry, Will.
Anyway, he went from awkward teen and kind of grew into his
Yeah.
yeah.
He's still got an awkward face.
For the parents, I thought of Marin Hinkle and Tony Shalhoub because they reminded me of Mrs.
my
Maisel.
gosh.
I thought of I couldn't think of anyone for the mom, but Toby from The West Wing, Richard Schiff.
He'd be great.
He is good. I said Deborah Messing for Dr. Rubenstein.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah, yeah. She's now at that age where she could start playing those types of roles. You know.
And I feel like Josh Gad could be Shmuel.
Oh my God! Yes,
that is
please.
perfect. I love that.
Oh.
You know what's funny? I know he's not. Every time I thought of Mickey, I thought of Titus Burgess.
Me too.
Okay, thank you. Did he not have like
He was
the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt like vibe? But I
yes.
don't. He's not Jewish, you know. But he was adopted, so it could be.
I think it would work. I would do it. Yeah.
I need a musical number though. I need like with the acrobats spinning. I need a musical number.
I know. I honestly, that matzo ball sound, like the ball itself sounded really lovely.
It sounds
with the
awesome.
with the delicious food and then the human dreidel acrobat things and the twinkle lights and
all
the
the
tent
latkes with the different
with the
toppings.
Tuna. Yeah.
Oh,
8 different ones.
I love Jewish food, so that would be, but
Gene-
like upscale version of it. Oh yes.
I think Gene Meltzer. I think I can concur with Andrew that you need to put the recipes. In the back
I
of
need
your
lots
book.
of recipes. I need multiples here because there's some really. I was like, ooh, oh that sounds good. You know, like your smell-o-vision kicks in. You're like, I could smell that rugalak or whatever it is, however you
I
pronounce
think
it.
you are right, Rugula. Because
But I think it's a thing where it depends on who's pronouncing
I
it.
don't know. You can tell we're not Jewish.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. If you know, let us know in the comments the pronunciation. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
And a recipe, your Bubby's recipe.
All right. Do we have anything else we want to talk about with this book?
I will say it is refreshing. We have had so many cheesy Christmas romances, which are very popular. It is nice to see other religious traditions get this kind of treatment. I think it's important.
There
Same.
is actually like a Diwali romance book, I
like
think.
that.
Maybe we could do that one year.
Yeah,
Okay with that.
'Cause I think it happens like around Halloween, so it'd probably be like an October book, maybe.
that'd be fun.
That's the color one, right? With the
Yeah,
color
yeah.
festival. That would be fun.
I thought that was the Holy Fest. No. Anyways,
Shh. We'll learn. We'll find
will
out.
learn.
We'll
We will.
look it up. We're librarians.
But yeah, I just think that that's cool, and I would encourage other authors that because the whole point of in this book is capture the what people love about Christmas is the magic of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can find that magic in anything that's about faith and family and food and all those things that make Christmas magic. So anyway,
That was lovely.
I know.
Good
And
job.
I've been grumpy all day. I don't know what happened. Like my
Christmas.
spirit lit up. Yes.
Christmas. This is what that book does.
It does. Yeah.
Christmas miracle.
It's a Hanukkah miracle. We shared the light. Like,
I do
The
like
menorah.
the
Yes.
idea that you make your own miracle. That's
Oh, God,
shared
yes.
in this book. I like that.
And that the again, it was kind of cheesy, but it was like the community. This doesn't feel authentic, so let's get the people who know what authentic
Yeah.
is, and the whole idea. And the Jewish community is very tight knit.
Mm-hmm.
You make a few calls, and all of a sudden we got this thing taken care of. So it brings in that idea of the community and what we love about the holidays.
I also love that Shmuel. Why do I not? I cannot
Shmuel.
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 Shmuel. I cannot say his name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to any Shmuels out there. Anyway, I love that he expanded on the idea of the bashert and the soulmate.
yeah.
It's not a soulmate. It's destiny. It's the person who's going to help you grow and do things like.
Meant to be.
Yes.
That's what I think. It's the literal translation is like meant to be.
You're like,
You
"That's
know how I
just
know
really
that?
lovely," from the nanny.
So the name. But they do that because that was they were having a fight, and she's like, "We have this tradition, and it's meant to be, and we're meant to be." So,
Mm-hmm. I like
but
it.
yeah, so good for Gene Meltzer for bringing a new perspective to the holiday classic romance.
Yeah, and I probably will be reading that Gene Meltzer Hex book. Can remember it was like something witchy or something. We looked up her other books. I will probably read that.
I forget the title, yeah. But she has like a sample of another book in the back of this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Oh.
another character with like a chronic
It
illness.
reminds me, if you want more, there Hallmark has actually done at least one or two Hanukkah movies. and one of them starred Corey from Boy Meets World.
Really?
Ben
Yes,
Savage?
who is
Yes.
yes, who is Jewish. So, I'm just saying that it's nice to. There's clearly a push in this industry to do more of this. So,
Yeah.
So
I
there
like
is one other quote that I want to bring up.
Okay.
So it's Rachel and Mickey talking. Yeah, Mickey shrugged, and that's what they told me right before I came out at my bar mitzvah. My mom looked me straight in the eye and said, Mikhail, the world is filled with angry and miserable people. Those people are never going to be happy for you. So you go out there and you live your truth. You be the person the universe asked you to be. And anyone who doesn't celebrate you for it, anyone who doesn't love you through it, screw them, because we love you just the way you are. I thought those are really good.
how is it like we just talk, and then Angelique just comes in with this beautiful moment, and it's like done, mic drop, out, every time.
She's
I lie in
really
wait.
thoughtful about what she says, and I just talk without thinking.
Yeah, me too.
That was beautiful.
No, I like that. That's a good quote. That's a really good quote.
I like this book. I'd recommend it. To
I
me,
would
this
recommend
is
it, yes.
definitely
Yeah, no,
on
definitely.
par with Let It Snow.
Like, if you like romance, if you like Hallmark movie romances, I read this book.
You like the magic
If you
of
like
the
Christmas
holidays.
romance, read this book.
I
Honestly,
agree.
yeah, if
I
you like
agree.
Christmas
you still
romance, do
have
it
that
too.
magic.
Yeah.
No, like I said, this was not written for me, but she wanted to do what she wanted to do, and she did it well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right. Are we done?
I think we
Are
are.
we
do
good?
it. Yes.
All right. To end this episode, I'm going to recommend Freegal. Freegal is a free music service through the library that allows you access to nearly 7 million songs. All you need is your library card, and you can download up to 5 songs a week to keep and stream up to 3 hours of music a day. You can even create your playlists or listen to ones created by the service, including holiday music playlists. So if you're looking for some holiday music, you can access Freegal at gastonlibrary.freegalmusic.com or download the Freegal app in your app store. I'll leave a link in the episode description. All right, that's it for this episode. The Matzah Ball by Gene Meltzer is available both in the library and online at the NC Digital Library through the Libby app and on Hoopla. Let us know what you think of the book and what you think of what we think of the book. Just leave a comment at the Off the Shelf blog at gastonlibrary.blogspot.com or at gastonspeaks.podbean.com. Next month's book will be Murder Road by Simone St. James. Thanks for listening and happy holidays.
Happy
Happy holidays, guys.
holidays.
Thanks.